All right. Well, hello. My name's Billy Olpen, and I'm the instructor for this class. Uh, if you're here, I'm guessing you're in the right place. Bio 30 or Psych 30, Human Sexuality. And this sections 50172 and 50178. Um, so, this little video is just to walk you through the logistics of the class, how the class is going to work, and what you're going to do. And I applaud you for taking this class in the summer because 8 weeks at half the time means twice the work. um, so there's a lot of reading, a lot of assignments every week. So just prepare yourself. You're going to have to spend some time here. At any rate, basically just going to walk you through the how it works. This is your, like I said, bios, human sexuality 50172, and also included here is Site 30 50178. So, here we get started. You must have got, if you looked at the welcome letter and hit the thing, you kind of, you probably got here, saw this part maybe already. I usually publish it uh, as early as reasonable. So this is the home page. Like I said, just like that. This is it. There's a little bit about the class. It's a short, brief statement. It's a little, that's all. So I'm not going to get into that too much. We're going to talk about these buttons. These buttons are shortcuts to some things you might want early, right? Of course, you have the whole thing. So this class is an electronic book. You have to buy the book. If you buy the code from the bookstore, I believe it's 54.99, which is the best I can do. I raised it $5 in the last year. Um, at any rate, for a textbook, it's fairly reasonable. Well, most of your assignments are done in the electronic publisher's book, right? So you have to do it. I'm going to warn you right now. There's a 2 week free trial period. It's a trap for a lot of students. You get the free trial and then you don't buy the book, and then the trial runs out and you can't do the work, and you then rushing around either trying to get a code or not. At any rate, then you're emailing me saying, "Oh, I can't do my assignments because," and it's like, that's not my problem. That's your problem. Okay, so I kind of always warn you against doing that, but you know, I can't always do can't I can't stop people from doing it. At any rate, um, I'm gonna walk you through this. All right, so really, this is the home page. This is how you connect to the book. Let's just do this part first, I guess. And well, obviously, mine looks a little different than yours. Um, and what yours is going to look like is going to be more like this. Here's all your assignments, the due dates, when they start, when the due date is, and I'll explain all these assignments as we go along. Okay? We're going to go back to Delta College, right? Um, and then I'm going to go back to the home page, right? And I'm going to walk you through the syllabus. So you click on this button, it'll take you to the modules. The modules, so obviously you can also get here by going through the module. Click the modules, it's the top one. Most of you, I hope, have already seen the welcome letter. I'm not going to go through that, right? But here's each there's a module looks full because each one is a page of the syllabus, right? So here's just the front page. Here's what's in the syllabus, what's in the syllabus. This is talking about the book. There's an electronic book you need to buy. You can buy it directly from the publisher's website, but I think it's like $40 more. So you're better off going to the bookstore. This is me. I don't know why I put that. Anyway, here's my email address. This is mostly how you're going to communicate with me, right? Through email. There's no live portion of this class. I do have student hours every Monday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I know many of you are not available at that time, so I'm very flexible. If you email me, I can arrange to meet with you on Zoom, and I'll show you the student hours when we get there. But I'm more than willing to meet at other times. I have a fairly flexible schedule, so you just have to email me, and I'll talk about it. All right. So that's that. Next page has a little bit about me, how long I've been here. So slow. Maybe I should. Okay. Sorry about this. Anyway, I can tell you what it says. Um, I am a part-time faculty. I've been teaching here going on 9 years now. Um, my real career was I was in the public mental health system for over 20 years, close to 25 years. I worked in at San Joaquin County Behavioral Health and Substance Abuse Services. So that's really my experience. I'm a real world person, and I know you probably can't read this. Should I, Corey, make this different size? I don't know how to do that now. Anyway, sorry. I know you can't read it here, but you can read it if you're following along. You could be following along on the Canvas on your own about this. Anyway, that's all. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm licensed to do therapy, but in my real career, I was mostly a management and administration kind of person, program development, that kind of thing. Um, so it talks about how to get in touch with me and please to use Canvas email because in the direct Delta email, like if you go through Canvas, I'm guaranteed to see it. If you go straight through the Delta email, there's so many emails that it could get lost. So if you go through Canvas, you definitely will see it. Okay. That's all you need to know about that. Here we go back again. You got to get the book. Um, and we're going to talk about the material, right? That's really the only required course material is the book. There's some stuff in there about the class from the catalog, from the San Delta College catalog, and then some outcomes. And that's like what we expect you to know when you finish the class, right? But we also do this class, I do outcome, like we collect some outcome data. And so there's a pre-test and post-test that I will talk to you about in a couple of minutes when we go through the assignments. Here's the book. You click on this, takes you to the site, tells you how to access the book. Okay. Um, Same thing if you're in trouble. So if there's something wrong with you and the book, emailing me is not going to help you. I'm letting you know. You got to talk to the publishers support people. I don't know how to fix any of that stuff. I'm just going to let you know. This button goes to the same video. I just was like redundancy, right? And this is their support. So this is the link for some support from the publisher. Okay. Like I said, here's the catalog description and the outcome objectives for the class. Okay. Um, Next, this is how the course works. So this is the course outline, how I grade, and what the assignments are worth, and all that stuff. So give it a second here and go through this. Well, it's more than a second. I know it's very slow. I don't know. Once this has happened, I don't know why in Canvas, and it's my fault. I should have like loaded all these things once yesterday. Once they get loaded like this, shouldn't take this long again. I don't know why this is an issue every time you first open the document for the first time. Anyway, here's the course outline, and like I said, I'm hoping you're following along in Canvas on your own, so you can actually read this. But here's all your assignments. So every chapter has a smart book assignment. Basically, it's the reading. It's the chapter reading for that chapter, and those you get 5 points for completing the reading. And the book knows whether you read it or not. Then each chapter has a quiz, a 10-question quiz, or 10 points. And they're built into the assignments, and I'll show you how that works. Um, and then there's two exams, one like around the middle of the term, right? Midterm. That's like first chapters. I think in this class I went 1 to 7. It could be 1 to 8. And then during finals week, you have a second exam, which is the last half, like 8 to 15 or whatever chapters were left. I don't do a comprehensive final, so each final is 100 points, or 100 questions, and yeah, right. So there's two of those, and then every chapter has a discussion. All right, and I'm gonna go walk you through that. So we make sure you get it because it's always a little confusing. Here it is. There are no makeup exams. I do not take late assignments. Don't talk to me. Assignments are open Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Actually, in this class, I leave them open for 7 days because it's 8 weeks is a short time, and I realize there's a lot to do. If you wait till Saturday night at 10 o'clock and your internet goes out, that's not my fault. Right? You waited, you took your chance, you gambled, you waited till Saturday, your boss made you work overtime, whatever happens. If it's something that's going to happen and you email me ahead of time that you might need extended time for the thing, you stand a better chance. But if you email me the next day or 3 days later, you're not going to get much from me. Okay? So, however, in this class, there is a chance to get 70 points of extra credit. I talked about the pre-test and post-test. If you complete both of those, I give you 20 points. And then there's like workshops at the library, do them online, plagiarism, how to research. There's like pretty much 5 separate topics that they do that's related to how to use the library, how to, what to do and what not to do. And I'll give you 10 points for every certificate you provide. If you take one of those classes, they give you a certificate. Email me the certificate, and I'll give you 10 points. So that's up to you. You get up to 50 points doing that. So if you miss an assignment, you can do something to make up some credit. All right. So then this is how the class breaks down. Altogether there's 725 points, 200 for exams, 75 for smart books, 150 for quizzes, and 300 for discussions. And then A, B, C, D. I don't do A plus, B minus, any of that. I'm a straight A, B, C, D guy. F, unfortunately, too. All right. So, um, very much. Oh, and then this is the schedule. Right? So it's 8 weeks. It's action packed. You already know that. You signed up for it. So this is how the schedule works, and this is what you need to do. So, like I said, there's just a lot for each week because of it's only half a regular term. So, I see that's some music playing while we're on hold, huh? Jeez. Uh, There we go. All right, so this is a tentative class schedule. Things happen sometimes, and for whatever reason, it might require some changes. Typically, it doesn't, but I just want you to know that it's a living document and it could be changed. If there are changes, I am putting it in the announcements. So a lot of community every week I put something in the announcements to make, um, and so you should hook up for notifications. So if I make an announcement, if I post an announcement, you'll see that it's there. You can go read it. That's up to you, but you're responsible to know the announcements, right? So here we go. Week one's first. I started on the first, even though I know the class officially starts on the second, and it goes through to the seventh, right? That's what I said, Sunday through Saturday. The first week, you can do the post test, review the syllabus on your own in more depth than I just did, right? And chapter one, smart book quiz and discussion is due. All right. That's pretty much the light week because the next week, right, is chapters 2, 3, and 4, smart books, quizzes, and discussions for all three chapters. Then it's the same, 5, 6, and 7. And then we get exam 1 already, right? And then the following, 3 more chapters, 3 more chapters. And this one is 2 chapters, and then the final exam. And all your due dates are right here. There's no mistake. Sunday to Saturday, Sunday to Saturday, Sunday to Saturday. Okay. So this brings me. So here's the key dates. Also, if you're going to drop the exam and you want a refund, you have to drop it by the 6th, which is Friday after it starts. The following Monday is the last day to drop with no W. And then the 30th of June is the last day to drop with a W. After that, you get an F or an FW, depending on. But I'm hoping that I don't have to give any of those. I really don't like giving those. All right, so here's how the assignments, right? So you go to the assignments section. Here's the pretest. I'm going to show you, like, yours is going to look something like that. Oh, like, I can't put it into the student view because it's not open to students yet. So anyway, you're going to get 10 questions, blah, blah, blah. Those are the answers that are highlighted there, but I don't know if that's going to help you much. Yours won't have that. Then at this, you click here and it takes you to the book. It takes you to the publisher's book. I can hit this, but at the moment, there's no access to that assignment yet. Like yours is not going to look like this. And in the student view, there's no, you're not allowed to see it yet. All right, so let me see if it's going to work. It's going to tell you the assignment is locked. Right? So can't really help you. But anyway, that's all you got to do is click the button, right? And go back here. Same thing with the quizzes. The quizzes are in the book. You take it, it'll take you to the book site to do the quiz. The only other, but the discussions are in Canvas. All right, so the discussions are in Canvas. And I'm going to leave this view. Hopefully, it's, I went the wrong way. There we go. All right. So the discussions are basically here. So all you have to do is list your answers. And so I'm going to show you. You're going to have a text box here, and you're just going to type in your answers. All I need is the answers. You don't need to retype the questions. I have the questions. Okay. But I want to show you. So part of this, I'm going to go here. All right. So if I go in the home page, you'll see. Maybe I should have did this before. Well, you got to this lecture, so the rest of the lectures are all here too, right? And this is not the lecture you're right. I'm recording the lecture right now that's gonna replace this one. At any rate, what you're gonna do is go here and then I'm gonna run through the slides. Okay. And basically, it's just a PowerPoint that goes along with the Mr. Johnson. So here we go, right? So here's the learning objectives for the thing. So these are just slides, right?
Kind of unusual.
Yeah.
Difference.
All right. So as you go through here, you're going to see questions. So here's your assignment, right? 10 questions. You're going to click here.
Questions embedded.
So the questions are embedded in here, and these are the answers. There's 10 questions and there's 10 answers here. And as you go along, you're going to see the questions. All right. As this plays out during here, somewhere in here, I threw in some questions.
What's happening here?
Oh, there we go. See? Oh.
Right, so this is the language of sexuality.
So here's the first two questions, right? And that's how the questions are. I'm going to show you something else. So all in these lectures and every one is the discussions. You record your answers and put them into the assignment text box. Okay? And also, if you don't want to listen to my voice, which I understand, I used to record the lectures, but nobody ever watched them, so it didn't matter. You can also just view the slides on your own and read the questions. Okay, I'm letting you know. You can do it either way. Okay, so believe me, the PowerPoints are in here again. I don't know why we're so slow here this morning. I'm on campus. You'd think we'd have better here than it does at my house, but it doesn't. All right. At any rate, so those are the discussion topics, right? And that's it. I just give you the answers. Use those answers. Don't give me your own answers. I'm telling you right now. I had students that put in their own answers, even though you were given the answers to match with the questions. I'm really lenient. Like the discussion topics, if you do it, you get full credit, unless you just did it good, half-ass, and half the answers are wrong. But if you get one or two wrong, I still give you full credit. So it's a pretty easy assignment, but you got to do them, right? Because it's half your grade, 300 points out of 725. That's like 40% of your grade right there. So, all right, I'm not gonna wait for this any longer. I don't know what to say here. Anyway, there are PowerPoints there, trust me. These are assignments, but if you go into modules, like I said, these are all the PowerPoints with the discussion questions embedded. And this is some extra stuff I will point out when this is appropriate, depending on the chapters you're in. So some of the, this is all attached to different chapters, some extra materials just for you to look at. You don't have to look at it. I just put it in there for interest. All right, so assignments, I don't know what else I needed to touch. Your quizzes are there, your exams, all of that is in this, right? All of that is here. So that should really get you through the class, okay? And basically that's it. This is totally online, so there's you do it at your own pace, and I leave it up to you. You're adults, you're responsible to take care of your own work. And if you got a problem, you need to email me early. Don't wait a week after whatever assignments and all that stuff to do. Talk to me before, okay? That's all I can say. Is otherwise, I hope you enjoy the class. This is a really good class for you to be able to learn about yourself and learn how to learn about yourself, what to do about your own sexuality, because That's, I really wish I teach it in high school more, but uh, this is the best we've got right now. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn something, and I am available. Just email me. I check my email every day, just about, maybe not on the weekends, but most days, sometimes even then. So reach out to me in an email, and try to help you with whatever it is you need. All right. Good luck and have fun.